there's going to be more traffic accidents, and then the laws being broken. Uh, Now, people are going to be found at fault now for this. Is this kind of how this going to work? Even if the other vehicle, you know, ran the red light, you know. So how is that going to work now? Because this
But
is going to really complicate the situation a little bit more.
you're 100% right. And Virginia is among a minority of states. There's very few states, I think only two others that still have this. We have what's
Right.
called contributory negligence.
Right.
So that you look at what happened between the two parties. And let's say that the one person is almost all at fault, but the
Hmm.
other person, the person who got injured, has even 1% or even less. They are contributory negligence. That means their negligence was part of and contributed to the accident. And
Right.
in Virginia, that's a 100% bar to recovery. You don't get
Mm.
a result. You can't get a settlement and you won't get a jury verdict. Now, more other states have gone to what's called comparative negligence.
Yeah.
So the jury would say this person was 60% at fault, this person was 40% at fault, and they would increase or reduce the amount of the verdict accordingly. But I think you're 100% right. I think defense attorneys for these insurance companies are going to start saying, if you didn't have your phone in hands-free mode, that is a per se violation of the code at this point, and they may start bringing that up as a contributory negligence defense, and we'll have to see whether they bring that up and how successful that will be.
Yeah. Now that's very enlightening. Now a lot of times people think that like the insurance companies are like trying to be jerks on purpose. Now, is that very true in every case?
Well, jerks on purpose is probably, that depends on your point of view, where you're coming from. But I have said to many clients, it seems like almost every single client, the first time I meet them,
Mhm.
that if the insurance companies would take better care of people, I wouldn't have a job. If they
Right.
would just say, okay, here's a rental car, here's where we're going to get your car fixed, your car or your car's total, and we're going to get you just as good a car. Don't worry about it. Send me all your medical bills and we'll make sure they get paid. And then if you're losing wages, let me know about your lost wages. If they would just take care of all these things right off the bat, I don't think I would have a job. But unfortunately, the insurance companies are in the business of taking in premiums and paying out as little as possible. So they don't have a duty to tell you the truth. They don't have a duty to explain the law to you correctly.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, they're the first person who has the information for the person who's hurt. So often, right after the accident, the phone starts ringing and it's the insurance adjuster, and the insurance adjuster saying, you got to do this and you got to do that, and you got to do this, and I'm not going to do this, and you're not going to get paid for this.
Yeah.
And I think there's a point of view where you'd say, yeah, that's being a jerk on purpose, when you know
Right.
you should be doing better than that.
So is it recommended to let you like talk to them like right off the back, like, hey, I'm not saying anything, like I'm going to give you a little bit of information. After that, like, you can talk to my lawyer.
That's a great point. And
Mm.
when I was a criminal defense lawyer, I always told people you're not going to
Oh
get
yeah.
anything good from talking to the police.
No.
I don't care what the police officer promises you. Don't talk to the police.
Good.
Now I say don't talk to the insurance company, because the bottom line from my experience is the next day
Mhm.
is when it hurts the most. The next day
Yeah.
is when my clients are the most miserable, because
Right.
you don't have all that adrenaline in you anymore and your body's starting to stiffen up. And then the insurance company calls you and they want to take a recorded statement.
Hmm.
And so you may be on narcotics. You're trying to deal with the pain. You're trying to deal with all this worry and anxiety. And they want to take a statement from you. And it's not just a statement. They're trained to use leading questions. So they're going to say,
Wow.
they're not going to say, hey, how did it happen? They're going to
Yeah.
say, well, it happened like this, didn't it?
Yeah.
And you ran the red light, didn't you? And the other guy was going 45, wasn't he? And you were going 75. And so no good is ever going to come of that. And the problem is the adjusters say, we're not going to pay your claim unless you give us a recorded statement. So sometimes I've had people come in, and I can't say I've ever had a recorded statement that completely tanked the case, but it makes it more difficult and we have to explain around it. And there's no good that can come of it. You are 100% right. Call me. And the
Man.
first thing I say to them is,
Yeah.
give me the name and number of that person. If they ever call you again, you give them my name and number, and I'm going to send them a letter and you'll never hear from them again. Because I always tell people, You let me handle the insurance company so that you can worry about and focus on getting better.
Boy, Chris, I need one of those sports horns for that gym. Man,
Thank you.
that's $1 million advice right there. So,
We'll add that in post.
yeah, we got to. Yeah, because like you so right, and you would think that there'd be some type of law for to prevent those adjusters from doing that, because like they can be very manipulative and take advantage of you when you're that vulnerable too, and they know that you don't know what's really going on here. You probably